Yes, indeed. Well, the Institute for Fiscal Studies has warned that an additional £3 billion is needed to support the poorest household amid concerns about the rising cost of living.
Yes, well, they say that the planned 3% increase to benefits is not enough to stop people from being pushed into fuel poverty. Eat or heat? That's always the big question, isn't it?
Yes, well, elsewhere, a recent poll has found recruiters were placing a record number of permanent and temporary workers into jobs. And earlier, Tesco confirmed 13,000 temporary Christmas staff are being kept on to help with COVID-related absences.
Well, there we go. Fantastic. So joining us now is Heidi Karjalainen, an economist at the Institute for Fiscal Studies. Thank you very much. Just explain this to us then. So basically, we're all feeling the pinch, and essentially people on benefits now as well. They're going to be bang in trouble, aren't they? Literally forced into poverty. Is that right?
Well, essentially what we're seeing right now is that the Bank of England expects inflation to hit 6% in April 2022. Obviously, this is going to affect everyone. It's going to affect all of our living standards in the sense that it's eroding our spending power. But in particular, the households on lower incomes are going to be hit more. So those on benefits increase in line with inflation last September. So that means that benefits are only going to increase by 3%. And if the rate of inflation is actually 6%, that means a 3% real cut to increases in benefits. And of course, also the lower income households, they spend a larger share of their household budget on gas and electricity, which are the two sort of components of expenditure that are going up by more in terms of prices.
Yes, I mean, what can we do actually to protect people? And is there anything the government can do? It does seem that they're a bit ambivalent to actually doing something in relation to the cost of living right now.
Yeah, so I think the government at the moment is just kind of considering their options. A lot of people have been talking about abolishing the VAT on domestic fuel. Now, while that would help households, it would essentially help households across the board, but it would only reduce the kind of increase in energy prices by about a fifth. So it would help everyone, but at a cost of about £2.5 billion. Now, what we think is that the government should actually target the help that they want to give to households a lot more. So that's why we're talking about upgrading the benefits by more than the intended 3%, because that would then target the help to those households that are on lowest incomes in the UK.
Indeed. Well, look, Heidi, thank you very much. It's a very complicated subject, so you've done well to kind of succinctly whiz us through it all there. Heidi Karjalainen, an economist at the Institute for Fiscal Studies, just discussing essentially the fact that people basically could now be forced into poverty. And, you know, these are really, really depressing times.